want to edit this.
No. Hello and welcome back, BuckPole viewers. This is David, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to take these two 10-foot long pieces of paracord and a clip and turn them into a roughly 2 to 3 foot long short dog lead for hunting dogs. This works really good, especially if you have like coon dogs and stuff. You can actually get a loop and do multiple sections of this and make your own, because here at BuckPole, we're all about showing you how to do it yourself in the outdoors so you can save money and spend more time with your family and friends. Let's get started. So I cut two 10-foot long pieces of paracord. They're probably a little on the short side for most normal leashes, but I'm looking for something that's a good short length kind of healing leash for a dog that doesn't behave very well. My kids are laughing in the background because they know it's true.
Yeah.
So, first thing we're going to do...
And there he is!
And there's the guest of honor.
Can we follow him?
First thing we're going to do, actually, is we're going to find the halfway point on this paracord. And we're going to loop it because we want the section to be as strong as possible. And somehow, even though I matched it up to my... normal 10-foot lead measuring piece, it's still kind of off on size. Now, if you can hand me that, Maggie, we'll feed two pieces through here. Then reach through, grab it like this, reach through, and pull them out. And you take that and you cinch it down. And then, just like you do your duck call, we're going to do a round braid. We're going to go like this. So, I'm going to get two off to one side, two off to the other side. And then, we're going to go like this. First one around behind. And then, this one goes around behind and through this one. We pull. Your top one here goes around behind and through this. And you pull. Top one on your right side goes around through the middle and behind. Then we go back to top one on the left side goes around behind and through. And we will continue doing this for a while. Now, don't lose track of what's where, because if you do, just like if you practice that duck call lanyard I built, you're gonna see that losing track is no good. So you want to take the top one on every single one. It's gonna be the top on the right, top on the left, top on the right, top on the left, and then you're gonna hit a point where it's gonna start getting kind of tangled up like that. Take that and pull it through, and from here it's top one on the right again, and top one on the left. And as this keeps going, we're gonna just continue it. I'm gonna cut away right now, and I'm gonna get to where it's strung out a ways, and then I'm gonna show you guys when I get to the handle how I loop the handle around and how I make the handle. So, perks to watching my videos, and all of them, I'm gonna show you a little trick that I've learned. When you're doing a round braid and you have to stop, I know a lot of guys on the duck call lanyards complained about how stuff didn't work out right and they had to go back and start over. Here's how I do it. I take it, I tape it down where I know I'm not going to need the space for a little bit, and I tape it down with all the strands right where they're supposed to be. So then I can go back, I can peel the tape off, and all these strands should be right where they're supposed to be. Now, I can pick it back up, and as you can see, if we're looking at this, right here's my highest one. This is the one I start with. And I can go back to braiding. This is how I keep myself from getting messed up when I have to stop and put stuff down. Because let's face it, when you have 4 kids, you have to stop and put stuff down from time to time. So, if you guys like that little trick right there, do me a favor and hit the like button for me. Because I figure that right there is worth the headache of keeping you from having to redo it and restart over. So, I'm going to keep braiding this up a little ways, and then when I get to about, I'm figuring a foot left roughly of paracord, I'm going to stop and I'm going to start showing you how I'm going to loop it and how I'm going to make it into a handle. So stay tuned for that in just a little bit, and through the magic of video editing, you won't have to sit here and watch me do this whole entire thing. Okay, so we've gotten to the point where we're going to start working our way back, and we're going to keep going with what we want to do. Now, what I do from here is I pinch this down, I take it, and I make a loop. And then I take it, and I check to see if my wrist will fit in it. If my wrist fits in it just fine, then I've got a good size. You want comfortably to be able to get your wrist in there, and I like to be able to lock down on that because that really helps disperse the weight, and that helps when the dog's pulling. Like I said, you run enough coonhounds over the years, you get to the point where you actually braid a cobra over the top of this to be able to deaden the blow on your wrist from them yanking on it. But I take this, and then I look here, and I see, okay, which one of my sets of cords is longer? Now, mine ended up pretty even, so I can double up, or I can crisscross them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two here and put them in the back, and I'm going to crisscross them essentially, and I'm going to run two different colors for my cobra braid that I'm going to do coming up. And what we're going to do is we're going to take something, a fid, a knitting needle. I use knitting needles because they're cheap. And we're going to drive one down through the bottom, and we're going to try pushing this back a little bit. And then what I do is I try to get a second one in here and drive both of them through at the same time. And what that, all that's going to do is that's going to open up that one spot in the braid for me. And I braid kind of tight, so for me, it makes a lot of sense to do it like that because it's really hard to get your paracord through otherwise. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those two short pieces and I'm going to shove them through here, right down through like this. And I'll show you a little bit better view of it, hopefully here in just a second. But we're going to take those and we're going to get both of them through. And sometimes that second one really is a challenge. And that's where if you have like a dedicated set of fids, it makes it a lot easier. I also do use forceps from time to time. I just don't know where mine are at this exact moment. So sometimes taking the knitting needle and using it to shove through works pretty good too. Yeah, like that. So this has gotten these two pieces here, and I want to cinch that down to where that's tight. And what I want to do is I want to take the two strands here. Let me get back in focus and show you. I want to take the two strands here that I'm not planning on running through right away, and I want to run those off to the sides. And then the two that I'm going to use, I'm going to start doing a cobra. So I'm going to start with the right side. I'm going to go over. I'm going to flip this one over this. See how that's there? Like that. Bring it around back behind and through. Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing this right off the bat with my instructions, go through and watch a cobra braiding tutorial. But you bring it, the gray one stays on top. So you bring the gray one back, bring the tan one around behind and through. And I'm trying to keep it up as tight as possible to where the joint is. So bring it across, over and through again. Like I said, gray stays on top all the time. And I'm going to do that until I literally run out of room on these. And then I'll show you in just a second here how I melt those back off. Let me just pause it for you and bring you back in a second. Okay, so we've got the first part to where we want it to be. And on this one, I want a really good melt on this. So what we're going to do, let's see if I can focus that up a little bit for you. We're going to cut it, and we're going to cut them a little bit long. I say about 1/4 inch on this one, maybe, approximately. And I want them a little bit longer because I want to be able to get as much of a melt on there as possible. And major props to my kids. I may yell at them when they don't listen, but when they do listen, I definitely appreciate the fact they put this back for me when I left it laying around. So that was my own fault. And what we're going to do, we're going to take this, and we're going to roll that over, and we're going to stick as much of that to there as we can, because I want that melted in nice and solid, which is why I left a little bit more space this time than I would normally leave. This one frayed out, so this should actually melt in a little better even still. But all this is right here, a flattened spoon. I literally went to the Goodwill store, bought a spoon for 10 cents, heated it up with a torch and flattened it out. So you've got your first weave, you've got your single cobra here. Now what I do is I try to kind of position this where I want it, and this time I'm going to run the tan over the top, which is why I usually leave my longer leads for my second go round, because my second go round is going to be a double cobra over the top. So you're not going to be able to run it all the way to the end. You can offset them, I guess, a little bit if you want when you start, hoping that it will run to the end. It's very hard to time it perfectly and get it to come out perfect. But what it'll do is this will run down, but since it takes more paracord, it'll stop just a hair shy of the end of where my first cobra is, and it'll help encase that first cobra to be able to make it stronger where the lead buttons up together. So we're almost done here. I'll just leave you on for a couple seconds and probably do one more. I don't know. I don't think getting 2 out of it's very feasible. So yeah, getting the second one out of it's not going to be feasible. So we're going to go right there. We're going to trim this. We're going to cut it. And we're going to be good to go. So like I said, I've got other tutorials on YouTube about how to do lanyards and paracord totes for turkeys. I'm going to have to go back and do my second turkey tote, because unfortunately my computer kind of took a dive on me and I have no way of transferring files from an SD card. So I've been using my phone instead of my GoPro to try to show you guys this stuff and just be able to film it, because I really do want to help you enjoy the outdoors with your family and friends. And projects like this are cheap, easy, and if you already have paracord and a latch laying around, like I said, this one was the broken latch off of the piece that I was given, or the leash that I was given, so it gives me the chance to show you guys how to do it. And I mean, the paracord I had laying around, so it's not like it cost me anything. There you guys go. Thanks for watching. See you again next time, guys.